There are 5 seasons, 1 interactive movie, and 22 episodes of Black Mirror. With season 6 just a couple of days away, I want to talk about the most intense, disturbing, and heartbreaking episodes of Black Mirror today. Let's see if season 6 can knock them out of the park. Spoiler warning on this one, although I will not reveal everything, just the outlines, because if you've forgotten, you'll want to rediscover them and feel every single spine-tingling moment. Be right back. Episode 1 of season 2 is my personal favorite. There's a good reason that this one has always stuck with me. The episode, although very straightforward, poses the haunting philosophical question, what makes you you? If you're looking for something to help you spiral emotionally, this is an episode to revisit. Starring Hayley Atwell and Domhnall Gleeson, the story takes place in a remote countryside where couple Martha and Ash have recently moved in. But suddenly Ash is killed in a car crash, leaving Martha to grieve in the secluded location. Martha's friend, who was worried about her, suggests a new AI device that helped her in a similar situation. Using online data of Ash, including past social posts and messages, the AI can communicate with Martha exactly how Ash would in any given situation. It starts with instant messaging and then moves to phone calls. Martha soon becomes reliant on this version of Ash, and as things progressed, she is offered the new trial phase of this AI, a synthetic android body that will mimic Ash in the flesh. It's a wild ride from here, again posing the question, what makes a human human? And pondering a person's soul. I mean, if I downloaded you into a robot and this robot could respond exactly like you, look like you, and think like you, what is the real difference? The episode has a somber ending that was met with mixed reactions by viewers, but overall it's disturbingly realistic as we see ChatGPT adopting the ability to respond in different personalities. There's also a chatbot called Luca, which was partially inspired by this episode, and big companies have allegedly already started experimenting with talkback AI that imitates those who have passed. It's sinister stuff. This one is a little tricky without full spoilers. We follow a woman who wakes up in a strange house she doesn't recognize. Soon she realizes that she has amnesia. She doesn't know where she is or who she is, and there's an ominous symbol on the TV. She runs to the street for help, but she soon realizes that every single person is watching her, not to help, but filming her on their phones, and they refuse to interact with her. Soon, a masked man arrives in a car with a shotgun. She runs to a gas station where she finds 2 people who don't seem to be in this same phone trance, and she works with them trying to escape. A lot of this episode is a cat and mouse game, but when the full realization takes place, there is a shocking twist as to why this woman is at the center of this controversy and why it has taken place in White Bear, which has a clever dual meaning. It's a tragic and violent story that leaves you with questions about capital punishment and an eye for an eye. Is she truly deserving of this kind of attention? White Christmas is known as one of the most popular episodes of Black Mirror. Although the whole series is an anthology, this one earns the title of a standalone, as it was a Christmas special that contains 3 stories within the episode. It was also the last of Black Mirror before it officially moved to Netflix. Starring John Hamm and Rafe Spall, the story is set inside a cabin where Matt and Joe reside. They share stories about their past. Matt had run an online group where members used the high-tech device called Z-Eyes to live stream their pickup attempts to get help from people watching on the other side. Unfortunately, the method becomes very dangerous because you never know who you're talking to and what the real-life repercussions are. Matt then tells the story of Cookie, another device he is invested in, working for a company that copies the human mind, making a copy of a person to fulfill their own needs. The last story in this special episode is when Joe confides in Matt, telling him about his experience with Z-Eyes and how he was blocked out of his partner's world via the technology after a heartbreaking conversation. Joe then spirals out of control to try and access her. This story is one of the most heart-wrenching to date in this series. It's an emotional story with a horrific consequence. And the episode ends with a jaw-dropping conclusion with both of the men realizing why they have been brought together. The episode shows the worst-case scenario of controlling relationships via tech. It's intense, emotional, and above all, disturbing. I am so sorry we have to do this, but to stay on topic with disturbing, in my opinion, nothing tops striking vipers. This is the first episode of season 5, and my gosh, was it explosive. Sorry, poor choice of wording. This episode stars Anthony Mackie and Yahya Abdul Mateen II. They play old friends Danny and Carl, who are reconnecting while playing a virtual reality fighting game. But within their new roles, their VR world becomes too real, allowing them to cross boundaries they never would in their real lives. The episode caused a lot of discussion about relationships, identity, and sexuality. I mean, it achieved exactly what Black Mirror's purpose is. It's a black mirror, the phone screen staring back at you, reflecting your online identity and how technology can change humanity and the way we interact. Fun fact for this one, it could have been completely different. The initial concept was to have an office cohort spend time in a virtual reality simulation as part of a team building exercise, where they would prepare to perform the musical Grease. As part of the exercise, each employee's identity within the simulation would be unknown. The idea was that during this, 2 employees would have an affair within the simulation, and it wouldn't be known to the participants what their identities were. Honestly, I never would have looked at Beauty School Dropout the same. Striking Vipers remains to be that episode that people refer to within Black Mirror. Even though the premiere episode involved a pig scandal, this one used a familiar platform and crossed so many lines, making it an uncomfortable and complex viewing experience for all. But episode 3 of season 3 provides arguably the most uncomfortable viewing experience of all, giving the audience a deep sense of dread and a pit in their stomach that will remain there until they shower. Shut Up and Dance follows seemingly normal teen boy Kenny, who's just trying to keep his privacy while living at home with his family. But Kenny has a secret, and the locks on his doors and the overprotection of his laptop have a sinister explanation. But we don't know exactly what this is until later. All we see is Kenny having some quote-unquote alone time before he receives threatening messages from an anonymous source blackmailing him, saying that there will release footage of him that they have recorded from his webcam. Now he must follow the hacker's every order to keep the footage from being posted online. We watch as he spirals out of control, obeying their every order, leading up to a fight for survival, even though he's already lost his mind. It's truly sick. Unlike other episodes, Shut Up and Dance doesn't require futuristic tech to get its point across. It's a game of control that turns the anxiety dial to 10, as we watch these hackers control those among us with horrific secrets. This might be why it's so effective. We're unable to put a distance between what is happening to these characters and our current timeline. It's hyper-realistic and shows the darkest parts of humanity which are already among us. I have to say, Alex Mlotha, who plays Kenny, is masterful, and he holds this episode together with so much depending on his reaction and downfall. He is truly brilliant for this one. Sick, but brilliant. But of course, at the end of the day, all Black Mirror episodes aim to disturb, and some just hit harder than others. I honestly don't think I've ever felt comfortable in my human skin while watching an episode. And of course, honorary mention goes to the national anthem, which set the bar as the first episode ever of Black Mirror, silencing everyone with its 44-minute watch time as we witnessed in shock a simple yet horrific premise. Will the British Prime Minister have intercourse with a pig live on television to release a member of the royal family who has been kidnapped? It's simple yet effective. What a show. I can't wait for the new season, which starts this Thursday, the 15th on Netflix. What is your favorite episode of Black Mirror? Let me know down in the comments. I did not make an appearance in this video. I'm sure you can probably tell why. My voice, I'm very sick right now, but I wanted to get this one up before Black Mirror hit. So please leave me a comment down below letting me know what your favorite episode is, and I'll be sure to revisit it. I've been watching a lot lately, and I can't wait to dive into the new season. Stay safe and stay spooky. Bye, friends.